We're Chicago School of Law, Illinois, DACA. Okay, so this stuff where you guys put URLs of the places you worked and your resume needs to stop. So people can't do that anymore. You guys need to stop doing that. Let's see here. Okay, so you've got a job as a litigator, which is great, considering that you came from Bangladesh and then came over and got this degree, and that's great. You've got a JSD and then an LLM. So that's amazing. So it's very difficult, by the way, for people to come over from foreign countries and actually successfully get into US based law firms. This sort of thing, you want to make sure I would take this off a lot of this information here. It's just fluff and just talk about the fact that you're a litigant. And then all this is good. This is great. I would, again, like here, it's like you went to University of Chicago Law School, which is just amazing. And then you have, then you got a JSD 2017. So I would be careful. Unless you want to do family law, I would just say you're a legal assistant. Anything that points towards consumer facing work is going to get you a consumer facing job. And then all this sort of stuff should probably be anything you did in other parts of the world and so forth. I would probably try to put that in other category. I wouldn't emphasize it at the top of your resume. And the same thing about volunteer. I wouldn't go too much into that. I would try to put that towards the bottom as well. If this resume, by the way, just at University of Illinois Law School and just had TB Robinson Group and talked about what you did there, your resume would be much stronger than with all this other stuff on it. I think it's very strong because I can understand how difficult it must have been to come over from Bangladesh and do all these things you've done and how motivated you are. But you need to basically point people towards, I'm a litigator, boom, that's it. And I do all these motions and I do all this work. And if you do that and nothing more, you will get a job. But if you start confusing people with all these things that aren't related to anything, like your volunteer rivers, and I don't know, everything that's going on here, then the readers of this resume get confused and they get overwhelmed and they move on to something that they understand. And so that's how I would handle that. And even this stuff, if there's a way to, no one cares that no law firm in freaking Houston, Texas is going to care that you're admitted to the DACA bar. So you need to somehow figure out how to bury all this stuff in a few lines at the bottom and all your other foreign experience. Say I was a lawyer there beforehand and leave it at that. Because otherwise it just gets too confusing. And I'm telling you this not because you have no right to be proud of your previous life and experience, but just because if all this said was University of Illinois Law School, TB Robinson, and then you were a summer associate, did something, then you would be very employable. But having all this other stuff just makes it too difficult. There's too much going on. And regulatory law, policy, no one cares about all this stuff. You do, but the employer just wants someone that'll sit down and be easy to hire to the work.